Good evening. Never let the fear of striking out keep you from playing the game. Welcome to BMC News Live in English, brought to you by Al Hilal Hospital and Medical Centers. I am Vinod Narayanan, joining you with the daily news updates. Today's headlines.
LMRA chief stressed Bahrain's commitment to international standards. Information Minister praised continuous success of Bahrain F1 Grand Prix. Bahrain Chamber of Commerce and Industry announced the newly elected board members. Saudi Cup 2022 sets Guinness World Record for most expensive equestrian race. UAE Foreign Minister and UK Foreign Secretary discussed joint cooperation.
News in detail. LMRA chief stressed Bahrain's commitment to international standards. Labour Market Regulatory Authority Chief Executive Officer, Chairman of the National Committee for Combating Trafficking in Persons, Jamal Abdulaziz Al-Alawi, met the Director General of the United Nations Office in Vienna and the Executive Director of the United Nations Office on Drugs and Crime, Ghada Oili. The two sides discussed bilateral cooperation in upholding human rights and combating human trafficking. Al-Alawi stressed the Bahrain's commitment to institutionalize the combat against trafficking in persons in line with international standards and best practices. Bahrain Chamber of Commerce and Industry announced the newly elected board members. Bahrain Chamber of Commerce and Industry's election was held in the presence of all members of the election committee, the representatives from the Ministry of Industry, Commerce and Tourism, and observers from Bahrain Transparency Society. The election for the 30th Board of Directors of the Bahrain Chamber started Saturday from 8 a.m. until 10 p.m. The election committee headed by Adel Al-Maskati announced the 18 winning candidates of board membership. Samir Abdullah Nas is elected as the chairman of BCCI. The reserved board members are Yaqub Yusuf Abdullah Al-Awadi and Faisal Abdul Latif Sulaiman Nasser. His Majesty King Hamad bin Isa Al Khalifa sent a cable of congratulations to Bahrain Chamber of Commerce and Industry's newly elected chairman Samir Abdullah Nas. His Majesty wished Nas success in continuing to lead the BCCI and promoting its role in supporting the economic movement in the kingdom and in serving the commercial and industrial processes to enhance its economic and investment status regionally and globally. His Majesty King Hamad congratulated the new members of the Board of Directors and wished them further success and progress. Industry, Commerce and Tourism Minister Zayed bin Rashid Al Zayani congratulated the newly elected members of Bahrain Chamber of Commerce and Industry in the 30th session. He wished them success in meeting aspirations and contributing to the BCCI's 80 years of achievements and initiatives that enhanced the national economy. The minister praised the support of His Majesty King Hamad bin Isa Al Khalifa and the follow-up of His Royal Highness Prince Salman bin Hamad Al Khalifa, the Crown Prince and Prime Minister, and their keenness to promote BCCI work. Industry, Commerce and Tourism Minister urges joint efforts to support the economy of Bahrain. Industry, Commerce and Tourism Minister Zayed bin Rashid Al Zayani urged joint work to revitalize the national economy during the post-pandemic period. Bahrain has taken important and proactive steps in the context of economic recovery through programs that have been implemented on more than one track. In a statement to Bahrain News Agency, he stressed the importance of harnessing the efforts of government agencies and the private sector to support the national economy. MBMA holds opening ceremony for second edition of Diafa program. Mohammed bin Mubarak Al Khalifa Academy of Diplomatic Studies organized a ceremony to launch the second edition of the Diafa program, which hosts a number of international diplomats from various member countries of the Asia Cooperation Dialogue. MBMA Director General Dr. Munira bint Khalifa Al Khalifa welcomed the international diplomats participating in the second edition of the Diafa program, expressing her thanks and appreciation to His Royal Highness the Crown Prince and Prime Minister Prince Salman bin Hamad Al Khalifa and the Minister of Foreign Affairs His Excellency Dr. Abdul Latif bin Rashid Al Zayani for their great attention and continuous follow-up to support the Academy's efforts. This would support the implementation of the Academy's vision in diplomatic training and encourage its tireless quest to keep abreast of developments and prepare for changes in the field of diplomatic work, as it puts the citizen service in mind in determining the outputs of training, she said. Information Minister praised continuous success of Bahrain F1 Grand Prix. Information Affairs Minister Ali bin Mohammed Al Rumaihi has praised the success of the Bahrain International Circuit, the home of motorsport in the Middle East, in hosting the Formula One race for the 18th year amid the availability of an advanced system of organizational, logistical, security and media services. While visiting BIC to follow up on the media coverage of the 2022 Formula One Gulf Air Bahrain Grand Prix, the Minister expressed pride in the ongoing cooperation of the Information Affairs Ministry with BIC and the relevant government departments to provide the necessary media and technical services to reporters of local and international media outlets to ensure a distinguished coverage of the international sporting competition and its accompanying events. Leclerc takes pole position for Ferrari in F1 Bahrain Grand Prix. Ferrari's Charles Leclerc stunned Formula One champion Max Verstappen by taking a brilliant pole position for the season opening Bahrain's Grand Prix on Saturday. Verstappen was 0.015 seconds ahead of Leclerc on the last time split, but the Red Bull star lost time to finish, 123 seconds behind, and his old teenage karting rival clinched the 10th pole position of his career. Seven-time champion Lewis Hamilton made up ground for Mercedes on his final run, but starts from a disappointing 5th place behind Red Bull's Sergio Perez and Ferrari's Carlos Sainz Jr. in 3rd. F1 lifts hotel occupancy rates in Bahrain. Bahrain's hotel occupancy rate has now touched its peak, all thanks to the Formula One fans who have gathered in the kingdom to witness the race. The latest estimates suggest that hotel occupancies have improved 70% to 100% in some hotels. The sudden gush in tourist arrivals in giving a much-needed boost to the sector that suffered substantial losses in the last 2 years amid the pandemic included lockdowns. The MMA, weightlifting and other events have pushed occupancy rates to above 80%. Gulf Air to perform lower emissions flypast at Bahrain's Grand Prix. Bahrain's national carrier Gulf Air, in cooperation with Formula One, and plan on performing a lower emission flypast at the 2022 Formula One season opener at the Bahrain International Circuit in Sakhir today evening. Gulf Air unveiled its first Boeing 787-9 Dreamliner with its new corporate identity at the Formula One Gulf Air Bahrain Grand Prix 2018, and today it is using sustainable aviation fuel provided by Neste to conduct this year's iconic flypast for the second year in a row. Today's COVID updates.
COVID updates brought to you by Al Hilal Hospital and Medical Centers.
Al Hilal Healthcare Group has organized Gala 2022 on 17th March 2022 at Bahrain Indian Club. The program consisted several cultural activities of staff from different departments. Dr. Sharad Chandran, CEO of Al Hilal Healthcare Group, Mr. Asif Muhammad, Regional Business Development Manager, and CA Sahal Jamaluddin, Finance Manager of Al Hilal Healthcare Group, have wished and congratulated all the participants. The event was marked successfully by the whole team of Al Hilal. The event had been accompanied by the dinner party. Japan's Prime Minister Fumio Kishida on Saturday said his country will invest $42 billion in India over the next 5 years in a deal that is expected to boost bilateral trade. Kishida met his counterpart Narendra Modi in New Delhi during his first visit to India since assuming office. The two leaders held talks ranging from the economy to security cooperation. In a televised press statement, Kishida said the investment plan will bring huge benefits for several industries, from the development of urban infrastructure to green energy. Kishida also said the two sides reaffirmed Japan and India's commitment to strengthening security ties across the Indo-Pacific region. Associated Press reported Japanese investments in India touched $32 billion between 2000 and 2019, mainly in the automobile, electrical equipment, telecommunications, chemicals, insurance, and pharmaceutical sectors. Japan has also been supporting infrastructure development in India, including a high-speed rail project. Now we will be back after a very short break.
The 16th branch of Megamart and Macromart supermarkets in Bahrain has opened in Sahala. The best offers are available to the customers at affordable rates. Everyone is welcome. During and around the opening day, a variety of fish including salmon, meat and dairy products, roastery, frozen items, food and non-food items, groceries, fruits and vegetables, electronics, garments and ready-to-eat food items are available to the customers at affordable rates. Hearty welcome to all. Megamart and Macromart, your favorite shopping destination.
Welcome back. Saudi Arabia to localize 15 programs in tourism sector. The Ministry of Tourism has identified 15 programs to localize in the tourism sector, including 6 programs for small and medium enterprises. These programs included the Tourism Scholarship Program, training program that ends in employment, the Applied Training Program, the Hafawa Program, Professional Accreditation Certificate Program, the Leadership Preparation Program, the Executive Education Program, and the e-Tourism Education Platform. The targeted regions to implement the program are Riyadh, Makkah, Qasim, Eastern Province, Hale and Najran. The number of studies working in the kingdom's tourism sector accounts for 189,000. That constitutes 26% of the total 726,000 Saudi employees. Saudi Arabia warns citizens of thunderstorms. Saudi authorities said that the weather condition would be partly cloudy sky along with thunderstorms accompanied by active winds on Makkah, Baha, Asir and Jazan regions. Dust winds would continue to occur on some parts of the said regions, reducing the horizontal sight as well as some parts of Najran and Riyadh regions. The surface wind movement on the Red Sea will be northerly to northwesterly at a speed of 15 to 45 km per hour on the northern and central parts, and southerly to southeasterly at a speed of 20 to 30 km per hour on southern part, while the surface wind movement on the Arabian Gulf will be northerly to northwesterly at a speed of 20 to 45 km per hour. Saudi Cup 2022 sets Guinness World Record for most expensive equestrian race. The CEO of the Horse Races Club and Secretary General of the Equestrian Authority, Engineer Marwan bin Abdurrahman Al Qalayan, received on Saturday at the club's headquarters in Riyadh a Guinness World Records certificate for the most expensive equestrian race in the world. The 2022 Saudi Cup was able to break records as the most expensive horse race in the world, with a financial prize of $20 million, while the total value of the Saudi Cup race prize is $35.1 million, representing the most expensive horse racing prize in the world. Expo 2020 Dubai hits 20 million visits. Expo 2020 Dubai reached the remarkable milestone of 20 million visits on March 19th, an amazing achievement marking history against the odds while bringing the world together in the UAE for the largest global gathering since the start of the pandemic. Displaying huge resilience in the face of unprecedented challenges, the biggest event ever held in the Arab world has combined unparalleled cultural, educational and entertainment experiences, with 192 countries coming together to showcase the best their nations must offer. UAE News Agency reported. World leaders, cutting-edge innovations, sporting heroes, Grammy Award-winning artists, incredible architecture, Arab superstars, innovative forums, global cuisine, and the guarantee of something new and surprising every single day are among the around 32,000 events and myriad attractions at the region's first World Expo that have spurred Expo 2020 Dubai to this monumental achievement. UAE Foreign Minister and UK Foreign Secretary discussed joint cooperation. UAE Minister of Foreign Affairs and International Cooperation, His Highness Sheikh Abdullah bin Zayed Al Nahyan, held a phone call today with UK Foreign Secretary Elizabeth Truss and discussed bilateral relations and partnership, highlighting aspects of joint cooperation. UAE News Agency said that the two sides had discussed issues of common interest in addition to regional and international developments and the stability of energy and food markets. Antarctica and Arctic temperatures 40 and 30 degrees Celsius above normal. Earth's poles are undergoing simultaneous freakish extreme heat, with parts of Antarctica more than 40 degrees Celsius warmer than average and areas of the Arctic more than 30 degrees Celsius warmer than average. Weather stations in Antarctica shattered records Friday as the region neared autumn. The 3,234 meters high Concordia station was at minus 12.2 degrees Celsius, which is about 40 degrees warmer than average, while the even higher Vostok station hit a shade above minus 17.7 degrees Celsius, beating its all-time record by about 15 degrees Celsius, according to a tweet from extreme weather record tracker Maximiliano Herrera. With that, we come to the end of today's news. Stay tuned for daily news updates in BMC News Live English at 7:30 p.m. every day. I am Vinod Narayanan signing off from BMC News Live. Good night.